Hi, this is Dave T1963, and after thinking about it, I guess I'll take down a few videos. I guess I'm not as woke as some people, and it seems like no matter what you say anymore, people get offended. It's all right if they go out and highlight other people's products and have criticisms of it or whatever, but if you come back and rebuke some of that or rebut some of that, it seems to be mean. So I'm going to try to be nicer. Anyway, I'm just going to talk about the sticks that I personally use and dispel some of the things that I see going on out there. The two sticks that I am 100% going to use this year are the Beast Mini Sticks and the Tethrd 1 sticks. This is going to be my lightweight go-to, and this will be my heavy hitter. This is the one I'll probably use when I don't have real far to walk in and stuff. One of the things that I think the Beast stick does better than any stick I've tried, and I've got Lone Wolf custom gear stick, I've got all kinds of sticks. I try things and everything. I have never been given a stick for free. I have purchased or bought all my gear. Okay, so I want to dispel that myth right up front. But hands down, the Beast stick grabs a tree and sticks to a tree better than any stick that I've ever used, including the Tethrd. Not that these don't grab a tree great, because they do, but it's just something about this bracket that really grabs a tree. So that to me is the biggest plus of the Beast stick. Another advantage of the Beast stick for how I like to use a carry-as-you-go aider of my original design, these sticks, that it works perfectly for that. There's no chance that aider is going to slip off this stick once it's on there. And to me, it's just a phenomenal combination. So I love these sticks, and I will be using them. In one of my videos that I'm going to take down, I do mention the little tip here, but you know, that tip has received so much video time. Folks, it's a safety feature built into these sticks. It's to keep your boot from slipping off of a wet slip. I don't know about y'all, but there's a lot of times wearing rubber boots that my boots are wet, or I've just walked through creek bottoms and they're muddy and slippery. And I absolutely 100% love the fact that these little tips are on the end to help keep my boot from slipping off a stick. That's just a matter of fact. And I will tell you that I've used both of these sticks. I've used Beast sticks since Dan first released them. I've used these Tethrd sticks longer than most people outside of the Tethrd crew, because I got to buy one of the first sticks available, and I've been using these over a year. Okay, so here's the thing. Both these sticks are great sticks. They're phenomenal sticks. You can't go wrong going with either one. How I hunt, I live down south, and we have a lot of, our creeks don't fluctuate in water a whole lot, except for when they're flash flooding. But you know, there's a lot of times they're very slick. The mud in Texas and Oklahoma is very slick. Usually the water's 3 to 4 foot deep, so I'm having to wade with chest waders if I'm crossing a stream. And I like to have all my gear attached to my pack so I can throw it over my shoulder and carry my bow and walk across the stream. So to me, weight matters. It's not easy. I'm 58 years old, and it's not as easy as it once was to hold 30 pounds worth of gear in one hand and my bow in the other while I'm trying to wade a creek, especially when that creek's slippery. So the more I can cut weight overall in my pack, the better off it is for me. And I don't use a rigid pack most of the time. I'm using a 100% fleece pack. So all these things matter to me. And so for me, the Tethrd, their primary advantage, there's two of them. One is how lightweight and compact these are. They attach to the bottom of my pack perfectly. They don't go out past my shoulders when they're on, like some of the longer sticks. And I prefer to carry my sticks horizontal under my pack, not attached to the back of my pack, because then when you bend over to go under brush, this gets elevated higher. Under your pack, it stays in line so it don't snag on as much brush. And I hunt a lot of thick river bottoms. So to me, the compactness and lightness is definitely number one. Number two is this rope attachment system. I will tell you, I love using the ham steel rope modifications, and to me, it's the best system out there. It works best for me. But I'll tell you, any stick that uses a Versa button, when you wrap that and go underneath it and then wrap it a couple times and throw in a couple half hitches, especially with ham steel because it's slippery, when you weight that stick, a lot of times those half hitches get extremely tight, and it's hard with cold hands to untie that. Usually I have to bump it from the bottom and knock it up to untie it. So that was always kind of a drawback of using ham steel. It's something I live with. This system here is absolutely phenomenal. Now, it does take a little bit more to set the stick downward. It moves a little bit more, not much, but a little bit more. But when you're done with your hunt, your hands are cold, and you've been out there 4 or 5 hours in sub-freezing weather, ice, snow, whatever, it is so much easier to take this ham steel and just untwist it off of here. Love, love, love this connection system. Also, you know, there's been a lot of complaints about the pins and steps and chemical bonds. You know, anytime you manufacture a product, you're going to get some bad product by the the people that produce that for you. I will tell you, I've had these since I first bought these over a year. I can't even tell you how many hours and how many trees I've climbed with this and hunted with these. I haven't broke a single pin. I haven't had a single step come loose, nor have they made any noise. These are just the same as when I bought them. I absolutely love these. And there's plenty of videos to go over all the uniqueness and the pluses and minuses of these sticks, you know, like these reflective tapes. That's all been covered before. I've covered them before, so I'm not going to regurgitate that. But I just wanted to put this video out there because it just seems like people are nitpicking things to death over minuscule differences. For instance, the difference between the contact point of these two sticks is less than a half an inch. If you get a tape measure and go from your center to your thing, it's less than a quarter inch on each side of the step between these two. Folks, that's just not a big difference. I also see a lot of videos that if you put these on big trees, that you got to put your toes into the tree and stand on it. That's horse malarkey, okay? When I'm standing on top of, never am I standing with my toes against the tree. My feet are always kind of slanted like that. I'm going off to the side, even on big trees. And there's far more foot support here doing it that way. And I don't care if it's the B stick or one sticks or heliums that I used to use. When I'm standing on top, setting my next step or setting my platform, my feet are not toe into the tree. That's just such a YouTube-ism to highlight something that most of us will never do, okay? So, once again, folks, you know, I highly encourage you, don't listen to people's opinions because we're going to be as subjective or as objective as we want to be or can be. We all have bias to some degree. Go try it for yourself. Go to a local saddle club, go to an archery shoot or something or whatever, and maybe you can try out different gear. It seems these road shows are becoming more and more popular with folks, so get out there and try them. Personally, I'm thankful that there's so many options out there, and man, the sticks are so much better than what they used to be when I first started. But these are the two I'm going to go to, you know. Me personally, if I had to say there was a con in any of these sticks, there's not one. Maybe the price. It's expensive. I get that. But man, I've used both of these sticks a lot. They work. And they work fine. And I did come up, Carl from Tethrd designed me, when I first got these sticks, designed me an aider that hooks up to the top of the steps. Because my original Carry As You Go don't work on this. But he designed a multi-step aider. I personally don't like multi-step aiders, so I came up with my own design, and there's a video that I did of it, of using am steel to work basically the same as Carl's. And that Carry As You Go aider works perfect for these Tethrd sticks. So I have no complaints on either one of these sticks. I'm not going to say which one's better because they both perform flawlessly to get up in a tree. And let's face it, folks, I am not one of those people that's going to stand on a still and try to hunt off of a step. I don't personally like to do that. I use a platform. At the most, I might leave this set off to the side of my platform to where I can step around either to my strong or weak side, depending on where my shooting lane is. But even then, most of the time I'm just standing on a platform, or I've got one strap with two Amera straps and I'll put one on each side. I'm not one of those guys that rotate 360 around a tree. Don't work for me. Never has. I've been busted far more out hunting, trying to rotate around a tree because of where I hunt and how I hunt, than I have rotating on a platform. But in all honesty, 90% of the time, I'm shooting to my strong side. That's how I've set up, and I've set up intentionally. I look for those spots that narrow deer movement down, that don't give them a lot of choices to meander, and that I pick the tree to set up to shoot with very minimal movement. I pick up my bow, I draw, and I shoot. Usually the tree is blocking, or if he's coming this way, I'm up against the tree as tight as I can be. I wait till he gets right past me out of his peripheral vision, I draw and shoot. 90% of the time, that's exactly what happens. Do I get surprised? Obviously, we all do. But if that's happened the majority of the time, if you're getting caught and deer are moving through an area and you're getting caught not set up perfectly for that 90% of the time or so, then I would say work on your setups, because there's ways to funnel deer and anticipate their movement, especially bucks. Bucks have peculiar habits that they tend to go through when they're moving through terrain, and you figure that out and you learn to capitalize on that, and you pick a tree that gives you the best opportunity of a shot with minimal movement, you're going to be ahead in the game. We'll leave it at that. But I'm going to take those other videos down. I do want to say this. I like the guy who makes those videos that we kind of went back and forth. He's a good guy. And I don't think he had any bad intentions in that original video. I just think there was things that were left out that should be brought out if we're going to get into nitpicking those minute differences. But in all honesty, folks, if you're a normal sized man with a 9 to 14 size boot, and either one of these sticks are going to perform just about the same, there are minute differences. There are a couple noteworthy. Like I said, the Beast, to me, there's no stick that I've used that grabs a tree better. Tethrd, there's no stick that I've used that compacts and lightweight, and this rope attachment system in the small am steel, to me, is just a winner. Absolute winner. So, you know, there'll probably be something that comes out next year that I'll have to look at, and I might change my mind, and maybe something new will come out. But if I had to hunt the rest of my hunting career out of either one of these sticks, I'm a happy man. So take it for what it's worth. I do want to mention once again, I don't monetize my YouTube channel. I'm not trying to make a dime or a nickel or a quarter off of every video and every like I get. You'll never hear me say like and subscribe to my channel. I started doing this way back when, just to kind of share information between a few of us saddle hunters that were DIYing things. And, you know, since then, saddle hunting has grown tremendously, and now we've got literally thousands of unboxing videos. So I don't even do a whole lot of YouTube videos on gear anymore, just because of all the hassle of it. There's a lot of envy. There's just a lot of, I want, for lack of a better term, politicking that goes on nowadays, with, especially in saddle hunting. Now we got the anti-saddle hunters making videos and taking pop shots about, you know, the weakness of saddle hunters and all that kind of stuff, folks. It just gets kind of silly. So that's why I don't really do a whole lot of equipment videos anymore. And if I do, I kind of keep them private, and I share them with the people that ask me about certain things. But I tend to focus more now on where I hunt and techniques I use in hunting. I've got some videos coming up showing how I prep entry and exit trails, because where I hunt, that's an absolute must, and I'll show you some of that in videos that are upcoming. But hey, you know what? I'm sorry if I offended people by pointing out some of the weaknesses that I saw in some of the videos that are out there, but in all honesty, this is something, you know, gear selection is very personal, and I just encourage you, try the gear that you're thinking about buying. These sticks are not cheap. I've got thousands of dollars tied up in the last 3 or 4 years in all the sticks that I bought. Not everyone can do that, and I get that. I shouldn't be doing it. I could probably use that money to go on a moose hunt, which I want to do. But, you know, and my best advice is get out there to these road shows, try different saddles. I just made a saddle video showing how you can turn any saddle that you currently have into a 2-panel saddle and get all the pluses and advantages. You don't have to go out and buy the latest saddle. I was going to say gimmicks, but the latest saddle. There's ways that you can invest smartly and cheaply and get all the comfort and satisfaction out of hunting. But when it comes to climbing sticks, there are so many great options out there now. Me personally, if you ask me, these are the 2 sticks that I will be running. If that don't make a statement to you, then, you know, probably you need to go watch another YouTube video and get advice from someone else. These are the sticks that I will be using, and I don't really see any cons with either one of them. Dave T1963 out.